This is WIIC TV Channel 11 Pittsburgh. It is time now for the TV-11 news. The early report. Tuesday, June 4th, 1968, 6 p.m. with Adam Lynch. Good evening, everybody. I'm Adam Lynch, and here's what's happening. In New York, it is far out world of soup can posters and interminable underground films. Andy Warhol's acquisition included characters of his bizarre as his art. Among them, the actress Farrah Solanas, who detests war in general, had some specific grievance against Warhol. The celebrated Warhol 39 was shot by a woman visitor to his studio yesterday that he was shot. As police held Mrs. Solanas Twain star Warhol's secret newest films, Ellie Miss on charges of felonious assault and possession of a dangerous weapon intent to kill. Doctors said today Warhol had a 50-50 chance of survival. Miss Solanas, who last replaced it at the Greenwich Village Weekly and the Village Voice, announced an information at the Society for Cut It Up. Miss Scum said she shot Warhol because she had too much control of my life. Warhol, known for his 8-hour action movies and his gigantic painting the Campbell soup cans and burial boxes, underwent surgery for 4.5 hours. The bullet tore through Warhol's chest, abdomen, and spleen in both lungs before emerging in front of his right side. Miss Solanas, square-jawed, slender, and short-haired, walked up to a policeman in Times Square for 4 hours after the shooting and said the police are looking for me and want me. She said she lived nowhere. There are many involved reasons for the shooting. She said at the police station, I am with it and confess on what I am and what I stand for. According to witness, Warhol was talking on the phone to brother of his female film stars when Miss Solanas stepped from an elevator, walked into a 6th floor soundproof office and shot him. Mario and Mara of London, a visitor in Warhol's office, was shot in the back but not seriously injured. Mr. Anaya, 34, said Miss Solanas stood very quietly while she was introduced. She said that she looked away. When I first heard the gunfire, I thought I was coming through the window. Mr. Anaya said that I noticed a revolver like the one of you seen Dick Tracy in her hand.
In court, Matnoff was asked how
she was. Court Farrell blazes. He said Wall called her name and shouted, "Oh no!" Mr. Anaya, and said that Miss Solanas had turned and fired at him. But he ducked and the bullet just missed his spot. A group of Warhol's friends waited to the hospital for news of his condition. The artist's checkboard mother was given a sedative at the hospital and later taken home. In Harrisburg, a bill to provide $44.7 million of the state funds for higher teacher salaries that included $1.2 billion for Pittsburgh waited the signature today of Governor Raymond P. Schaefer. He is expected to sign it quickly that ended a 2-month-long battle over demands of wage increases by some 100,000 public school teachers in Pennsylvania. The bill will provide the Pittsburgh Board of Education with the funds needed to absorb the 1968 cost of $600 of the salary increase in September granted 2 weeks ago to teachers. The measure adopted last week by the House was passed last night in the Senate in routine manner. It increases the state's mandatory salary for starting teachers to $5,400 and provinces will jump to $6,000 in the 1969-1970 school year of aid. Concurrent resolution is passed during that in declaring that sufficient revenues exist to pay for the boost. The bill organization in House and would have provided $54 billion of salary hikes, but the Senate trimmed to $25 billion. When in the House refused to accept the Senate version, the matter was pulled into a bipartisan House-Senate Conference Committee, which eventually agreed on to the $44.7 billion. Now, the United Steel Workers Union USW doesn't want a substantial wage increase under the style contract with them. Basic Steel Industry with its new contract with what's a whopping one. That was a word given to the industry here today by Joseph P. Maloney, Vice President of the Giant Union, in the second day of economic bargaining at the Commodore Hotel. Mr. Maloney's statements came out of the union meeting of her presentation of steel negotiation was in line with a declaration yesterday by USW President IWA Able that money is the most important matter for the steel workers. Mr. Maloney also reported that the steel negotiations told the union agrees with the industry that the steel imports that have to be curbed. The union will not recognize the problem as a collective bargaining issue. Helping with the union to pitch along with Mr. Malloy were technical directors Ben Fisher, Wages Arbitrary, John Puston, Officer, and Technical and Mayor Bernstein, Foreign Affairs. The importance of foreign steel and enemy coming to both sides was about the only conflict between the two. Saigon, U.S. and South Vietnamese forces today killed and estimated 250 Viet Cong trying to join the Battle of Saigon. In one battle, the Viet Cong used a wounded American soldier as a bait for 5 agonizing hours. U.S. Army 953 Division soldiers killed more than 300 guerrillas last night and today in one battle 30 miles southwest of the capital. It was this action that the Viet Cong had the captured Americans and shot every person who tried to rescue him. The Americans lost 36 dead and 62 wounded in this battle. This fight began when a group of 60 Americans landed by helicopter at Rebel Pitch, just 10 feet from a Viet Cong bank complex. The communists held their fire until the troops landed and opened up with a small armed and atomic weapons fire. One American was wounded in the leg, 5 feet in front of the bunker. Major Zeb Bedford 36, Kannapolis, North Carolina, said they either killed or wounded 5 or 6 men trying to reach him. Finally, cop Minnis shot him in the head. Mr. Bedford said to the man laying in front of him. Westinghouse Electric Corporation has been awarded a $587 million nuclear fuel and services contract by the Tennessee Valley Authority for a projected nuclear power plant. The plant will have 2 generator units with a rated capacity of about 1.175 million kilowatts each, scheduled for operation in 1973 and 1974. A $72 million contract was awarded to Westinghouse by the TVA in April for the 2 reactors fired with opportunity for nuclear fuel supply. Westinghouse fabricates nuclear fuel assemblies of its plant at Chesapeake and has a second fuel assembly fabricated plant under construction at Columbia, South Carolina. Bangkok, U.S. troops in Thailand are being put under midnight curfew next week to contribute to good troop-community relations. Saigon, Nabe on her knees in the muddy tent did not understand the concept of limited warfare. Her home had been blown up to the communist border. Nabe, 42, was housed in an instant refugee city at the Pha Lam district of western Saigon. Ram fell on a patchwork tent governor. Lightning blinked in the dark west sky and gunfire cracked nearby. Nabe was kneeling in front of the 2 American beer cans she was wearing. Wet flowers of yellow kind were stuck out of the cans and stern candles burned down on either side of them, and now was waved by neighbors. Wave smoke and increased sex.